Hi guys, it is Psychic out here today. What is up? I don't really know how everybody feels about the whole term your spiritual awakening. I feel like there's so much controversy and so many different meanings of a spiritual awakening and what might be the effects and what are the symptoms and what's the key moment you just know. When do you know that you're going through a spiritual awakening is really what I wanted to talk about today. The first thing I wanted to get down was when you have your spiritual awakening or when you start your spiritual awakening, they kind of call it a wake-up call. It's like you start waking up and realizing that you are more than just, you are more. You realize that there's more meaning to everything that goes on. You understand more perspective than just living in a normal 9-to-5 job, living a day-to-day life and the same thoughts over and over again. You've broken out of that cycle you've made for your subconscious beliefs. You have truly woken up to the idea that you are something more than what your brain and what your body has been telling you. Pretty well. You know how I had this time in my life where I would literally say to myself all the time that I wish I could just change my whole reality and I wish I could just change my mindset and I wish I could just change, but it feels too easy. It feels like I don't fucking know, like I just don't get it. And I felt like so trapped in this concept in my mind. But I had times where I felt joy, where I felt good, and I had to chase those things. And so I knew that I started my spiritual awakening when I hit rock bottom. At a time in my life where I was doing drugs. I was doing drugs for a couple years to cope from negative, toxic parents and doing drugs to feel something. And for 2 years it goes by, I'm like 65 pounds. Like I've probably almost OD'd a couple times. I just woke up one day and everything changed. I had a whole different mindset about things. I started to understand things. I just woke up to my life. I woke up to what I was doing in my life. I didn't see it from just a point of view of me doing it. I saw it from a larger perspective. And so that's what I believe a spiritual awakening is. You see things for a bigger perspective. You understand that everything is fundamentally neutral. You can choose if an experience was good or bad. You can choose if an experience has made you better or worse. You can choose if your future is going to be negative or positive. You can choose if you're worth a 9-to-5 job or not. You can choose that in the mental state. And so I believe that when you start your spiritual awakening, you understand those type of concepts. You understand that it's so beyond the physical world. It's not just the physical world anymore. It's energy. It's you're attracting people and you're living in a simulation. And the reason why that person smiled at me today rather than looked at me weird was because I attracted them and maybe I had that vibe that I was giving off. Because I'm making a YouTube video in public. Who the fuck knows? So you attract the people that you do for a reason in your day-to-day life. You understand that there's more than just living every day as the same day. You notice that there's different things that happen in the day. You start to see that the colors are brighter. You start to understand. You start to feel like not a little kid again, but you start to understand that your inner child is still in there somewhere. And you just have to embrace that. You have to love that and embrace that and know that that's you. That is literally a spiritual awakening. That's literally a concept of a spiritual awakening. I don't even know if I can explain that any simpler. It's like you literally waking up to the idea with whatever situation you are in that you're fucked. You're literally fucked without changing your way of being. And so what I did is randomly I moved to a whole different province, and what I did is I started to manifest. I started to speak things into existence. And then I started to feel it. I started to know that they were coming. I started to just know. I didn't need anybody's approval. I didn't need clarity. I knew. Because why would I need anybody else's clarity about my life? I just knew. I understood. And that's what the whole concept of you spiritually awakening is. You understand that it's not just somebody else and what they're doing. It's like, what do you think that is right or wrong? Because we are all different at the end of the day. Doesn't matter what fucking we look like or what type of hair we have or what type of outfit we have on. We are all the same. And that's also another part of a spiritual awakening. That's a realization that I had. I started to see auras. I started to feel crazy. I lost friends. My whole life has changed since Corona. Like, I felt like I've lived fucking 9 lives during this whole Corona. Well, even before Corona, I felt like I've lived 1,000 years. And so I knew that past lives exist. And I never fit into a religion. And so when I spiritually woke, I understood that it was more than a religion. And it was more than any concept that a human-based society could create, because it's energy. Anyways, that was a cool realization I'm having right now, and I hope you guys have a good day.